Let me ask you this. Would there be a Michael Jordan without a Phil Jackson? Would there be a Tom Brady without a Bill Belichick? Would you know how to drive a car without a driving instructor? Do you see the common theme between all of these? Everyone in every scenario, they had a coach, they had a mentor, they saw somebody who was steps ahead of them and was reaching back to pull them up so that they could be the greatest that they can be. Now, as a pre-med student, we all know you're smart. I know you're capable. I know you're talented. But if you never applied to medical school before, or perhaps you did, you probably weren't successful the first time you're applying or watching this now. But what you need to know is you need somebody who's been there, done it before, and can walk you through that process as well to help you avoid any pitfalls and anything else that can totally derail your chances of getting into medical school. I'm Dr. Spears, and I've been helping pre-med students since 2008 successfully get into medical school. I want to do the same for you because you work too hard throughout your time as a pre-med student. Think about that time that you spend in orgo class, going to office hours, studying and doing problem sets, preparing for your classes, your schoolwork, all of that. And then let's not even forget about the MCAT, the hours that you put in preparing for that exam. Now, you did all that for a reason, not just to get into medical school so that you can become a doctor. However, we know that you need to get into medical school so that you can become a doctor. What I want to do is streamline and give you a clear cut path to medical school. And what you need to remember and consider is that over 60% of first time applicants to medical school are being rejected. So you can look to your left, you can look to your right, and then yourself right in the middle, and just realize two of those people, it might even be yourself, will not get into medical school. The odds just aren't in your favor. And you have to realize, so what are the applicants doing that do get into medical school? It's basically one of those things where to the victor belongs all the spoils, because you have a certain segment of pre-med students that apply to medical school and they basically get in everywhere. Then you have another group, they apply and they don't get in anywhere. And then you have the kind of the run of the road middle group that kind of might get acceptance here and there, but it's really a nail biter into the end, and sometimes it even doesn't work out for them as well. I don't want that to happen to you. You don't want that to happen to you. And maybe your parents don't want that to happen to you. So what I want to do is offer my services to help you throughout this final stages of a pre-med student who's getting ready to apply to medical school this upcoming cycle, to look over your personal statement, look over your most meaningful activities, and just really giving you an expert eyes on your application so that you can present your best self forward to AdComs and even know how do you sell yourself to AdComs? How do you make the case for your mission to medical school without coming across as cocky or arrogant? Because there's a way to do it. And you have to think, at this point, you and your peers, you guys pretty much have the same GPA MCAT score. That's pretty much set in stone. And so you got to think, how am I going to distinguish myself between every other pre-med student that's out there? And they might be applying with either better credentials, better stats than me. So you got to think, what is going to be your competitive advantage? I think it would be very favorable and advantageous to yourself to have a coach to look over everything, who can guide you each and every step of the way, so that way you don't have to wonder and guess what you should be doing, shouldn't be doing. Should you include this part in your application? Should you take this other aspect out of your application? And what should be the focus? What should be the theme? And also just even thinking, okay, how do AdComs actually think about this process when they're looking at an applicant? What's going through their head? What are they looking for? Because you got to remember, they're doing things differently. You guys are looking from the perspective where you're applying to medical school from the perspective, pick me, choose me, choose choose me. I really want to be in medical school. I feel like I deserve to be in medical school. Yes, you may feel that way, you may believe that way, but it doesn't always work out for everybody because AdComs are doing something different. They're thinking, okay, I have only 150 spots in my incoming medical school class. However, we have over 10,000 people applying to this medical school. How do we whittle that number down? How do we narrow it down to the most qualified applicants who have a compelling story, compelling narrative, and also we know that once they get into medical school, they can handle the rigors of a medical school curriculum. Those are the things that AdComs are looking for. They're also thinking a little bit, okay, how is our class composition going to look overall? And how are we going to stack up to the other medical schools out there? Because yes, there's kind of some bit of a hierarchy and ranking of things. And we want to make sure that we have a well-rounded class. So I want to help you with that. You guys might be a little scared, worried because you just haven't gone through this process and you know there's a lot on the line. And I want to walk you through that step by step. So if you're looking for guidance, you're looking for help, then certainly reach out to me because I want to make sure that you land where you need to be and that you're walking across the stage to loud applause as you get your white coat and stethoscope and get welcomed into the community of medicine. So if that's what you're looking for, if that's what you want, you can find me at drpremed.com, and also you can send me an email to jason@drpremed.com. Look forward from hearing from you because let's get you where you need to be, and that's in medical school.